Hello, and welcome to Phil Brown's Computer Networking Lab. You're watching the instructional video called Active Directory, Installing the First Domain Controller. Here we are on DC1, and we're going to install the first domain controller for the entire force. Let's open the Server Manager window and take a look at the local server. Here we can see that DC1, the domain controller 1, is part of a workgroup. Let's go ahead and verify that it has a static IP address. Yes, it has a 10.0.0.11 IP address, and the DNS server is pointing to itself. Now let's install the domain controller. We have already installed DNS on this machine from a previous video. We'll go to the local server and verify that the DNS server is working correctly. All the records appear to be here, and DC1 knows its own IP address. Now let's add the Active Directory role. We want this installed on the local server, so we'll just click Next. And we want it on DC1, so we'll click Next. This will allow us to install the components of Active Directory, but we'll need another step in order to install the database itself. These are the features that we need to add in order to have the Active Directory. We don't need any other features, so we'll click Next. Everything looks correct, so we'll click Install. There, it looks like it's finished. So we'll close the window. Okay, we installed the Active Directory components. Now we need to install the Active Directory database itself. Here it shows we're going to promote it to a domain controller. Here we are given three options. We can either add the domain controller to an existing domain, or to an existing forest, or we can make it a new domain controller in a new forest. We'll choose the third option since this is our first domain controller. Here it shows us that we have several choices for which type of functionality we want this new domain to have. Here we can see that this domain controller is backwards compatible with previous versions of the domain controller. But if we make a choice from a previous domain controller, we will lose functionality. And we also have the choices grayed out for it to be a DNS server. That's because it already is a DNS server, so there's no way we can make a choice for it. And it has to be a global catalog, because every domain needs to have at least one global catalog, and we only have one domain controller in this domain. And we'll also need a password for recovery. And here we can see that Active Directory has access to the DNS server. If it didn't, it will come up with an error message. Now it's checking to make sure that there is no other Philip Brown used in this domain. And here are some choices that we have of where we're going to put the DNS database. In some cases, people will install it on external drives in order to improve efficiency. But we can change its location by clicking this button. And here is a list of the changes that will be added to this domain controller. Here we'll run a pre-check. Don't be worried about the warning sign. That's normal. It's just a warning about the cryptographical information, but that won't affect what we're doing. And finally, Active Directory has finished installing and it is now restarting the computer automatically. Here we can see that it's asking us to log into the local computer, but we'll change it to philipbrown.localdomain. Okay, let's go ahead and verify that Active Directory has correctly installed on our computer. We'll open up the administrative tools and view the new Microsoft consoles that has just appeared. I'm going to open up Active Directory Users and Computers. Here we can see that everything appears normal, just like we would expect it. In this video, we saw how to install a new Active Directory server to a domain. In the next video, we will take a look at how to install a second Active Directory server to the same domain. I hope this video has been informative, and I thank you for viewing.